There we go. Welcome to this student interview joined by Kieran. It just crashed, so we'll try again here. My guy Kieran, he joined back in October 2023. Now it's like we're wrapping off the month of April here in 2024. And yeah, I know, bro, that you joined us Short Form Society back then, doing around 2,000 euros per month with your agency. And now you're around 6,000 euros a month. So this interview is just gonna be talking a little about your agency journey, Kieran, and also the things that you've learned, and hopefully the viewers can learn something, give them some tips and tricks how to start, scale their business, the thought process, and everything in between. So thank you so much for being here, bro. Can you give a better introduction than the one that I just gave?
Yeah, of course. Thanks for having me. Back then in October, yeah, my name is Kieran. I'm from Germany, and back when I joined in October, I was studying in university here, in a public university, and I had my agency back then already. I was doing around 2K a month. The whole idea of starting an agency actually started because I saw Frederick like earlier that year, and I like thought to myself, I can do this myself, right? So I scaled it to like 2K a month or so, and obviously it wasn't enough, so I had to start going to university. And at some point, I kind of noticed that it's just not enough. My clients are not happy. I'm not really getting like good clients, and I knew that if I don't change something, I will have no business in next year. So I reached out to Frederick because I saw his story, and they knew that they could help me, and I took the shot, and it was the best decision of my life since I don't have to study anymore, right? I can do whatever I want, and that's pretty sick.
And we appreciate that, bro. Like putting the trust into us, and I think it's cool that you actually started out on your own, and then, of course, reached that ceiling, and then realized that maybe it was time to upgrade and get some more help. So we appreciate that, and of course, the business has scaled. You have 3x your revenue in a pretty short period of time, which is cool. And you mentioned in the end here that you could do like whatever you want. So, like revenue and money aside, like what does it mean to you to now be able to make a living from your business? Like, how has that changed?
Well, it changed a lot because you're not chasing anything anymore, right? You can do whatever you want. You're abundant. One thing that stick to me, one quote that stuck to me was, "Don't chase the butterflies. Mend your garden, and the butterflies will fly to you or come to you." And this is exactly the way I'm living life. Obviously, I'm doing the agency work. Obviously, I'm hitting the gym. Obviously, I'm eating good. But with that, there comes more clients, more revenue, better body, better mindset. Like it's just like a cycle. You do good things, and better things come back. And there's no need to kind of stress about anything because you're just doing the right things. You're mending your garden, and the butterflies do come. And this is actually just the way I'm living. I'm doing what I want, but I obviously do the right things, not the bad things. And yeah.
I think that's sick and a very good answer. And I believe, and I can still like think back to October when you joined, bro. I got a lot of questions and a lot of should I do this or that or what about this? And I think like now you almost don't DM anymore. You just send me some updates like, hey Fred, sign some clients. Cool. So I think for me that has also been like the main part in you, bro. Like I knew that the numbers would come because I
Hmm.
saw what you did as a person, right? Like you stuck to it, you worked hard, asked the right questions, and then you got the conviction, right? So
Yeah.
like going from just editing to like more responsibility, a full stack service, like, hey, this works for my clients. Cool. And if I want to do big numbers in my business, then I probably also need to be a person that deserves it, right? And as you said,
Mm.
beautifully put in the quote, like instead of chasing the clients, you just build a great agency, a great persona, more confidence, and then you started signing better and bigger clients. And I think it's a very good trajectory. But I think, bro, like, how did you go from that? Like, how did you go from slightly insecure and a lot of questions and 2K a month, and then turn into this person now that is doing 6K euros?
Well, it's kind of hard to, there's not one answer. It's getting better each day, I'd say. Obviously, taking off some weekends, some days off as well, because you need to rest. And that's what you preach as well. But at the same time, I'm working my ass off in the week. There's been times where I've been working nonstop. I've been like pure stress, thinking, "Fuck, my business is going to crash," and it's just building habits as well. It's just like I said, doing the right things, and if you do the right things, it's kind of stacking up on another. It started with doing my bed every morning, right? and and now it's just like the most obvious thing that I'm doing my bed in the morning, and then it's just doing the work right after. And when you've done the work right after, you build the next habit, going to the gym every day or going for a run every day. So it's just the habits you build time over time. You can't build all habits on one day, but that's just kind of the thing. Now it's for me the food, right? I'm doing the right nutrition for like 3 months now or 2 months, and everything is becoming so much easier because I'm building so great habits. It's just changes kind of your life, and just like you said, your persona grows and you build a lot of confidence because you do what you say you're going to do.
Yep.
Because you I talk to the people in the calls and other people in short form society. It's you see what they're doing and you kind of want to grow with them. So you just look at them and do the right things as well.
I think it's a good answer. And I think what a lot of people also get wrong is that they would watch this interview, for example, and then they realize that, okay, Kieran is working every day. He's going to the gym, eating right. And then they'll go out and try to do all of this at once, which you're just setting yourself up to fail, right? If you're not used
Yeah.
to perform at a high level and do the right things, then if you tell yourself that you have to do 10 hard things the next day, then it's not going to happen. And I think you've been really good at just like trusting the process, right? And as you
Yeah.
said, because sometimes it is very stressful. Sometimes you lose a client. Sometimes you're in a bad period of you're not getting a lot of meetings. Maybe you're not closing the sales calls, and it's easy to run a business when everything is just fun and you're signing clients and
Mm.
yay, happy days, right? But like, can you give us some explanation, bro, to how you went through these periods where it wasn't that fun?
It's a lot about trusting the process, like you said. It's really helpful that I had y'all, the group, and it's it's I can't lie, it's tough sometimes. I know you know as well that I was really worried, especially end of the year and beginning of the year. I thought I my business is going to crash, but at the end of the day, it just goes back to the quote to just mend the garden, just do what it's right, and everything is going to settle itself, right? There's nothing you can force. There's nothing you can't just do external factors decide how you're going to feel or how your life is going to look like. You have to kind of just make sure that you're doing the right things and everything is going to settle itself. And this is just this deep kind of trust I built over time as well. And you especially know how I came here with no trust in myself or the business or life itself, because I thought the next day my business is going to crash, right? But now I know anything that happens, everything will be all right. I know how to get figure things out, and it's just a really nice and calm feeling or state of mind.
Yeah, I agree. And I think the coolest thing was that in the beginning of the interview, you said that you looked at me and then you thought to yourself, I can do the same thing. And that was exactly
Hmm.
how I started myself, like that, having that good base level of like confidence and then jumping into something that is very unknown, such as business. And then you kind of have to start from scratch, building that level of confidence that you have and then build it up. And I think that is basically just what we're seeing with you now, bro, is that you had a high level of conviction and confidence in yourself and what you could achieve, and then we just gave you the right tools. You trusted the process over and over again and trusted the time and doing the right things. And now we see the results from that work. So I
Hmm.
think that is cool. And that probably comes from you being an athlete. Before, I also played some football. You played the wrong kind of football, American football, right?
Yeah.
Can you maybe talk a little bit about like how that has meant to you or like portrayed into your business, like the fact that you've been an athlete and sports and these things?
Yeah, of course. It helped a lot, I'd say. The things you learn in sports do help because it's the thing you learn in sports to push through the pain. And
Yeah.
in business, there's also a lot of pain. It's just not in the gym or on the field. In business, there's, I'd say, more pain than in sports.
Same.
And and then you just know you can get through it, right? If you know how you can play a football game with, like, I don't know, an injury or something, then you know you can do some more outreach, right? So it helped me a lot because I know who I am myself, and that there is always a way to figure things out, even if it looks like you can't do it anymore. That's one big thing. And the next thing I'd say that helped me from being an athlete is having experience with other people. Like, it sounds weird, but I played in a stadium in front of 17,000 people, and just those experiences, I'd say, gave me a lot of confidence, and also made myself, my persona, what we've talked about before, more interesting, and which gave myself a story. So what I would advise in this case is also make it a story that you've played football, right? Or for me
Yeah.
myself, it helped me a lot because there's a lot of people interested in American football. And if I go into a sales call and people are like, "Oh, I saw you played American football. That's sick. I love American football." We're almost like friends now. They trust me as, like,
Yeah.
directly, which helped me a lot as well.
Yeah, and I agree, and then I think that is one of the biggest key things that we see in the agency space and just like the overall business space now is that most businesses are driven by the person that founded them, and it doesn't, and it can be an agency or a coaching business, but it's also like clothing and apparel and shoes and jewelry. It's like the person behind it is more important for people to trust and buy into, and then they will trust the product, right? So if they already have a connection with you and American football or being an athlete and you're a great guy and some good communication and you have a service that solves their problem, then it's almost already closed the deal, right? Because they bought into Kieran and then they trust Kieran's service and the things that you're preaching. And probably also why you ended up with us was that you saw something in me. And you were an athlete, I were an athlete, and you saw something here that, hey, if this blonde guy from Denmark could make it work, then hey, I can probably do the same thing, right? So I think that is a key thing to people watching is that don't be afraid to like show your own story and just like embrace who you are and then just turn that into something positive because there will be a lot of people that resonate with you, but there'll also be a lot of people when you have your own opinions and stand for who you are that will hate you. And that's just life, you know, like you can't be friends with everyone. I think it's a very good note there, bro. Do you have
Thanks.
any like tips and tricks or advice for like people who are considering starting their own business or taking the leap of faith? I know that like you're from Germany, bro, and it's not the biggest thing in Germany yet to like be an online entrepreneur. I'm from Denmark, and it's a bit more normal there. So you have any tips for maybe people in Germany or just like anyone like taking a leap of faith?
Yeah, of course, the people in Germany, a lot of things I faced was, people think that I'm in a Ponzi scheme. Like, I don't know if there's like the snowball pyramid business kind of things. People think I'm doing that. I don't know. It's just a German thing, I'd say, because they don't trust online business.
Yeah,
But my advice for Germans in this case would be, what is the worst thing that can happen? Or
yeah,
I know how Germans are. I'm pretty sure I was a pretty tough case when I joined because I was all about security. Can I have a guarantee? Can y'all guarantee that my business is going to grow? And I know how Germans are. They like things safe, and at the same time, I understand that because I was in that situation myself. But also think to you, what is the worst thing that can happen? There's nothing, especially if you live in Germany, but even if you live in Scandinavia or something, like, if you want to start a business, there's nothing that can happen. There's a quote I like: "I'd rather have an oh well than a what if." And this is because I think you've had made a video about it. If my business fails, if I invest this money in a coach or a mentor, what can happen? I'm still living with my mom, right? So it's an oh well if it doesn't work out. But if you just get stuck in the university in the matrix, as Andrew Tate says, it will always be the what if I've just took the leap of faith, and I don't want to live that way, and I'm sure you don't want to live that way either, because everybody has so much potential, and it's sad to see people just not use it.
Exactly. And like whatever makes people happy, right? Like the main thing is just that they actually do something that they're passionate about and something that fuels and fits into what they have like goals and dreams and aspiration with their life. And I think it's a really good question to ask yourself. And it's just so simple, right? What's the worst
Mm,
thing that can happen? It's probably not that worse or that bad, sorry. So I think it's good, and don't take it too serious with the people saying Ponzi schemes and these things, bro. I get the same thing, right? Because it is just,
mm,
especially from people that is like older than us, it looks kind of weird, right? Like it's
mm,
younger people with no fancy education that is suddenly now running a business and making money. But when you boil it down, you and I are just marketing agencies, right? Like we help people,
mm.
businesses solve the problem, make more money, more revenue, take responsibility for client acquisition, content, and these kind of things. And then they give us a cut and a payroll because we solve the problem. So it's so simple. And people will just point fingers at you because it's easier for them to say that Kieran is a scammer than to actually accept that fuck, Kieran worked his ass off for an agency
Yeah.
and now he made it work. Because if they had to admit that to themselves, they would also have to admit that they haven't done the thing that they told themselves that they wanted to do. So it's easy just fuck, he's just a scammer, you know. I can sleep tight at night because I know Kieran is a scammer, and the online business world is full of fluff. You know, fuck that. That doesn't work. So don't take it too
Yeah.
serious. And I know that it hurts in the beginning, right? But now you have so much proof. I have so much proof, and so many happy clients and people. And it's like can't hate, you know.
Yeah, of course. It's like Jordan Belfort said in The Wolf of Wall Street, don't judge me based off my wins, but of my losers. And there's not much, like, look at your trust pilot, right? There's none. There's no negative reviews, and I don't have any on my proven expert either. And
No,
especially those people don't even listen, right? They don't care what you're doing. They just want to hate. And if they listen, they'd understand. That's, yeah.
I
I don't. I
agree.
mean,
And I
I
think
don't
it's a
listen
good
either to
mentality
them.
to have, right? It's the same thing when you were an athlete and you had a bad game, or people told you that you wouldn't make it, and there will always be doubters and people that doesn't fit into the way that you see things, and that's just life, you know.
Mm.
I think some very good answers, bro. I think this was a great interview. Do
Yeah,
you have anything that you
thanks.
would like to add?
I don't think so. I think most points were pretty clear, and just try it. Right? What's the worst thing that can happen? Just that's what I would think about out now. About now.
I agree. I agree. Like maybe last question, bro. Like, what is the main thing that you've learned from running a business?
How you do one thing is how you do everything. That is something you preach as well. But if you really take that quote seriously, you'll understand, and if you live like that, you'll understand.
Yep. And I completely agree. I didn't come up with the quote, unfortunately. I wish I did. And it also took me many times like to hear it before I did it myself. And I so much agree. Like every time that I'm out of alignment and not performing the way that I want to, and I look at my business and maybe I'm in a down period or I doesn't feel the best, then I just look at my life. Like, am I prioritizing the gym? Am I eating the right food? Am I going to bed and waking up the same time? Also on the weekends, what are the things that I'm telling myself? Like, am I a good boyfriend? Am I a good son? You know, like it's, and then you realize that there are some aspects where you're lacking. And then, of course, your business is lacking too. Like, you can't fool a mirror, right? I think it's a very good quote, bro. And if you can keep
Mm.
living by that, and then, like, as you said throughout the interview, like, just add a good habit every time that you feel like you've implemented another good habit, then you're just gonna become unstoppable, right? You'll make millions of
Yeah,
dollars. You'll do the things that you want to do, and that's just the law of the universe.
yeah,
Good
that's sick,
stuff. I think that's it.
sick.
Thank you so much, Kieran. It was really good,
Of
bro.
course. Thank you
And
too.
we're very happy to have had you on board as a student, and we have some more time to go, so that's a blessing.
Yeah.
Below this video. I'll just link all of your socials, Kieran, and then people can follow you and follow your journey. Kieran will be posting more content. He promised me and himself. And Kieran doesn't lie to himself. We know that for a fact now. So check out Kieran below. And yeah, if you're interested in becoming a short form society student like Kieran, you have to go through an application call just like Kieran did. We don't bet our money on everyone. So also check out the link below. I don't know where this video will end up, but there will be some links probably. So thanks again, bro, and have a good day.
You too, bro.